I am live. Let's copy. Command C. Jolly Roger. Edit page. Dun dun. Da 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 dum da dum dum dum. Da 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 da. Thursday. Link to join. Shoot. Delete. Paste. Highlight. Link. Enter. Edit. Settings. Open. Update. Update. Patience, patience, patience. View page. Clink. Let's go make sure all this is here. All right. I think we are in good shape. Hey, Lynn. I lack some of that. Lynn, what does that mean? I lack some of that. You lack nothing, Lynn. As far as I can tell, you are perfect just the way you are. What are you lacking, Lynn? Now I'm all nervous. Patience. No, no. You put up with me every day. You must be wildly patient. Look at this. Let's see. Hey, Pauline. Missed you. Hope you're okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, I should put that on my announcement list. I forgot why I wasn't here yesterday. I am fine today. Doing great. I have. Yeah, yesterday was a bit much. I spent a long time in that chair yesterday, 3 hours. By the way, Megan is coming in and out. She's my niece. She is beautiful. She is smart. She is an artist, which is a problem, but we're trying to work that. We're trying to have life beat it out of her. She's going to be here taking pictures today. And so there's that. uh, let's see. Let's see. Linda, thanks for asking. I am feeling dandy. There's a thing called Vicodin, and it solves all problems. So, no, I actually, they were in. I was in the chair for 3 hours yesterday, and they did this tooth and this tooth. And when I left, I'm swollen out to here. It was about 1:30 when I left the office, and then as I by the time I got home, it had started to come down. So I just laid on the couch all evening, and it turned out it didn't hurt near as. I mean, the aftermath wasn't near as bad as the catastrophe that happened at the time, and then I got a really good night's sleep. I overslept actually this morning, so I'm back in business. Everything's fine. I have ever more fake things in my face. You'd think with all the money that I have spent on my face that I would look like Kim Kardashian, but I am. This is the result. So this money doesn't solve everything. Let's see, Lynn. Hi, Lynn says hi, Megan.
Hi,
Lynn is awesome. Let's see, Lanny. How about you? How you about to be robbed? Yeah, Megan is one of the young people in our fair land who is taking this coronavirus seriously, and somehow I feel like she should get a trophy or her face on a plaque. She could get. You know how they used to put in communist countries, they put giant faces on giant flags and hang them off of buildings. That's what we should do for Megan. She's been doing a really good job of treating this thing seriously. So, how's the sound, guys? Am I too loud, about the right thing? I think I have a setup here now that I think is exactly perfect. I put the microphones at 3/4, and so hopefully that's a good volume for you guys. Let's see who else logged in. Hey, Linda, welcome back. Thank you. So glad you. I'm alive. I am alive. I cannot eat corn, popcorn, corn on the cob, or apples. But other than that, I am alive. I don't really eat a bunch of apples. I grew up next to an apple orchard, and I'm kind of done with apples for a lifetime. Let's see. Hey, Norm, welcome back. Gail, welcome in. P. Rob. P. Rob, I think you subscribed to me. I think I saw on the email that came through today that you are a subscriber. Thanks for doing that. I gotta mention that. We should get more YouTube subscribers. YouTube subscribers. If I get a ton, then they bump you up in their algorithm to make you more famous. Hey, Jackie, Manette, welcome in. Renee, how you doing? Let's see. I sound good. Okay, thanks. First name Phyllis. Okay, Phyllis. I'm gonna really try. When I see P. Rob, image of a male pops into my head. So Phyllis, I will really try to remember that P. Rob stands for Philip. Phyllis. Patty's here today. I'm feeling better. Is Tom there? Is Tom hanging out with you, Patty? Let's see. Carol, welcome. Sounding good. Thanks, Carol. Gail is here. Sounding good. Julianne, hi. Glad you're back. Glad to hear that Megan is taking it seriously. My kids are well, but they feel like a minority. Young people. We were all young ones too, and we remember how much smarter and invincible we were. It's hard to convince people that they are not stronger than a microbe. It really is. Hey, Greg, welcome in. Pele, you made it in today. Pele, you got this figured out. Yes, that's what we've been waiting for. Pele, at 2 o'clock, we will do the guitar one, and so you'll go to Denver Guitar Orchestra and log into that one. That way, you have a chance to practice logging in for tonight's concert. By the way, tonight's concert's for the guitar people, not ukulele people. Let's see. Linda says the sound is fine. Christine, missed you yesterday. You look great. Yeah, by saying I look great, I appreciate the that's not exactly true, but I look like I normally do. Hi Annie, I am alive. Tooth Fairy. Yeah, right. What the heck? Tooth Fairy didn't even stop by last night. Lanny, let's see. Viola's in from Chicago. Michael Burke is on board. No Michael today. Kat, welcome. I am doing better. Let's see. Tom is there. Good. Cindy Raymond. Cindy, glad to see you today. Christine, I sound better with no teeth. I'm going to try to speak deeply and like I want to do that. No, I'm not. Bob is in early. He's ready to. He heard there's Irish whiskey going on, and so he shows up early. Hey, Callie. Let's see. And sound is good. Linda's good. Elizabeth. It's off to you. We go. Yeah, we got to get going. We got a lot of work to do today. Jerry's here. Bruce is here. Brandon, I'm super proud of you. Continuing to slog on through. Jumped in the middle of this thing and is going to keep going. All right, guys, I made a commitment that I'm going to do better at running our time schedule so that I'm going to get started a little earlier. That way we have plenty of time to get through everything. We do have 5 songs today to get through that. I'll do announcements about halfway through each of these broadcasts so that most of the people, we have people logging in at 2 times. So most of you guys are coming in right off at the top. A few of you are coming in partway through because you don't want to sit through the new member stuff. I get it. I think it's wrong, but you are you. And wait, what am I gonna do? Force you? So we're gonna just get started with playing the music as close to 1 o'clock, 1:02, 1:03, something like that, and then we'll play for about half hour or so for the newer member stuff. About halfway through, about 1:25, 1:30, I'll make general announcements about what's going on. We got a lot of changes. Megan is hanging out over here being my social media director, whatever that is, but I'm sure we're all going to be pretty famous here. And she understands Instagram. All I know when I go on Instagram is everybody's lunch. There's pictures of everybody's lunch on there. That's as far as I can tell that's useful for. But she promises me it's more than that. And she's going to do the Facebook thing and all that stuff. So the sooner we're famous, the sooner that we can just make this 8 hours a day of full-time broadcasting. Let's see. Mel logging in from lovely British Columbia. Tony and Alan is here. Okay. All right. So here we go. Hi, my name is Gary. I'm a ukulele teacher here in Denver, Colorado. I am broadcasting from the lovely and historic Grant Avenue Theater in downtown Denver. And it is definitely historic by Denver standards, not necessarily by some of yours. If you live in a town that's very old, you'll have older stuff, but it's pretty old, and it's very, very beautiful. The sanctuary here is one of the great ones in the city. You can stand on the stage with a ukulele and be heard quite plainly in the very back of the building. It's a crazy thing. Today we're going to break it in. We got 5 songs we got to cover because of you. Yes, I missed yesterday, and I heard you guys wandering the streets like zombies, wondering what to do with yourself. And so we're back in business. We're going to run through yesterday's songs, and we're going to do today's songs. So I'd like to start with. Let me go over and see what I'm starting with. I don't remember what we're doing today. We're going to play All Through the Night. That should be, by the way, when you're setting up your book, I recommend just setting up your sheet music in alphabetical order. It's just because you're always going to be adding to it. And sometimes we like to put things in categories, and it's not going to work. It's just not going to work because some of the categories make sense at the time, and then they don't make sense later on. So just put everything in your book alphabetically, and that'll be easiest. The only thing I keep separate is Christmas music. And we will be doing lots and lots of Christmas music as it gets torn toward later in the year, of course. But um, um, I think I'm going to be honest. I think I have the best ukulele Christmas book ever written, ever in the history of humanity. And you want to come and be a part of that when we get ready to do that. Do know that I start writing Christmas music in September, and then I actually start teaching it on November 1st. And by the time December 25th rolls around, I'm kind of done with Christmas music. So that stuff I keep in a separate group because I don't want to look at it the rest of the year. But everything else, I just put it in alphabetical order, and that way it's going to be easier to find. Now, we're going to play All Through the Night. This is an old lullaby. Lots of you don't know this song, and that's okay. It's a really beautiful melody, and it's something you should know. The cool part about it is if you learn measures 1 through 4, you've also learned measures 5 through 8, and you've also learned measures 12 through 16, or 13 through 16. And so it is pretty easy to memorize. In fact, the first song I memorized on ukulele was this song, and it's got a real pleasant thing. It also, when we get to the tough uke section, it'll give you a technique that we get to work on that's different than the other techniques we've been working on. So first thing is we always run through the chords. Okay, I've got a G chord, index finger here, middle finger here, ring finger there. That's your G chord. Okay, beautiful. If you're newer, you hate this chord. Don't hate it too much. We have way worse ones coming than that. Next chord is an A chord. Index finger right there, middle finger right there. Okay. By the way, notice my thumb's starting to peek up there. Okay, we don't want that. We want that thumb hidden back behind there. And we want your ukulele on your body at about a 60-degree angle. Those of you who bought ukuleles and you don't have a strap on them, you do want to get a little button put on the end here. You have to drill a pilot hole right in the middle, put that button on, get a strap on. You're going to be doing so much work with both hands that you really do need a strap for as an instrumental ukulele player. Next chord is a D chord, index finger on top, middle finger here, ring finger there. Okay, beautiful. That's how you know if your ukulele is too small. I'm barely fitting in there because I'm playing on a concert today, and I really need to be on a tenor, so I need a little bit more space. So this ukulele is too small for me. If you have normal, if you have regular adult size hands, you probably should be playing on a tenor. Other chord in this song is a C chord. Hopefully that one's part of who you are at this point. Ring finger. Okay, those are your 4 chords. Now, what we want to do is we're going to go through and play. We'll sing and strum it, okay, which is how most of you guys come to ukulele, as you've been singing and strumming, and you found out you shouldn't be stringing, you shouldn't be singing at all, which is what you're going to find out when sounds come out of my mouth. And then we're going to switch over to playing the melodies line, and then we'll do the tough uke line. Okay, so get your G chord. Okay, it's in 4, so every measure just strum 4 times. 4. If you're fancy and you want to work on this one, don't forget you always have this as an option. And if you're real fancy, turn it into an arpeggio. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, here we go. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sleep, my child, and peace attend thee all through the night. 2, 3, 4. Guardian angels, God will send thee all through the night. 2, 3, 4. Soft the drowsy hours are creeping, hill and vale in slumber sleeping. my loving vigil keeping all through the night. 2, 3, and then you're supposed to repeat that. You're supposed to play through it 4 times. Now, obviously, I can't sing, but you at least have a general sense of how the melody works, how the chords are working within the piece. Okay, so now because we're pushing fast today, we got to get through 5 songs today. I'm not going to spend a ton of time going over all of the details about what you could and should and might do on that. Okay, we're going to move right on into the melody playing, and this is where I figured out early on that I didn't want to sing because I'm terrible at singing, and I have no interest in getting better at singing. What I did want to do is get where the ukulele would do the singing for me, and that's where this ukulele melody line comes in. So in this song, you're going to play your ones. There are no ones, so you don't need to worry about it. You're going to play the 2s with your middle finger, the 3s with your ring finger, and when you get to measure 9, you're going to have to go all the way up to 7. Okay, so I would be thinking probably a pinky on 7, which puts your middle finger on 5. Okay, so that's technically called 4th position, where your index finger is 4, middle finger is 5, ring finger is 6, and pinky is 7. So that's theoretically what I would do. Now, when I get in a hurry, and who knows, and I jump down here, sometimes I just go to 5th position, and then I will use my ring finger on 7. Both of those are equally acceptable. There's no one right answer. Some things will feel better than others for you. There are no 4s in the song, so probably 4th position is optional, and maybe 5th position would make more sense for you. Okay, let's go through. We're going to play it quite a bit slower, 1 note at a time. If you're learning tablature, this is exactly where you're in exactly the right place. How to read this thing. It is, when you're brand new, it's kind of complicated because it's upside down. But we've got lots of previous videos. Go all the way back on the jollyrogerukulele.com website to our lesson archive. Go scroll all the way down on that lesson archive till you see a Frere Jacques. Start there, and it'll pull you up through, and you'll learn how to read tablature. Okay. By the way, we'll start again on June 1st. That from ground zero on the new member stuff. So that way, if things are being super confusing, you'll have an opportunity to do that. All right. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3, 2, 2, 0, 2, 2, 3. I'm going to start again. I think I was on the wrong string. Have you ever played a song on the wrong string and it sounded funny? I just did that. Let's start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3, 2, 2, 0, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3, 2, 2, 0, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 2, 3, 2, 0, 3, 2, 0, 3, 2. You have a fermata there. Let it ring and then go. 3, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3, 2, 2, 0, 2, 2, 3. Okay, nice melody, not too hard to play. I told you I'm going to go to 4th position and play those this way, and then I of course did what I normally do, which is to go to 5th position and played it with these 2 fingers. Either of those is perfectly acceptable. All right, let's play through it one more time so you get a chance to make sure your melody playing's going well. 1, 2, ready, play. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I wiggle my my finger just a little bit at the end to get a little vibrato. You may not be able to hear it through this, but that's exactly what's going on. By the way, I'm going to turn off this fan. That's probably creating unnecessary noise. Um, all right, so that's what we're doing. By the way, at the end of measure 12, that fermata, that's the eyeball looking thing there right above ing underneath the D chord. That's a fermata that tells you to hold that note a little bit longer than you normally would. And when you're a soloist, you can hold that however long you want to. But when you're playing in a group, everybody kind of has to agree as to how long that is. So if you're in a small group, 2 or 3 of you, whoever is the leader, usually the lead person playing the melody, will give a little bit of a head bob, right, as to when they're ready to get going again, right? Or if you're in a situation where you have a conductor, come in 3, 4, and the conductor will hold you, and then he'll do this, right? So I'd say in small ensemble, you see this in quartets all the time. You'll see them sort of looking at one another and a little head bob there. Whoever is leading the timing on that, and give that little nod, and then everybody knows it's time to go. Okay, all right. Now, last piece of the puzzle is tough uke. Guys, that's where we take the chords that we played, then I sang and it was terrible, right? And we took the melody that I just played, which is beautiful but a little bit sparse, and we smash them together. We get tough uke. That is chord melody or finger style. Finger style is a little bit more specific in terms of what we would technically call finger style, but we use that word indiscriminately these days. What I'd like to do is have you, instead of strumming this one, I want you to use 2 or 3 fingers to pluck, okay? Okay, so really, you're going to put your thumb on this string, index finger here, and ring finger and middle finger down there. Thumb, index, middle. Put them at a bit of an angle so you don't want them stacked up on top of each other. You want them at a kind of an angle like that so they have some room to do some work. Okay, that's what we got going on there. And Megan snuck out. Okay, so we can talk about her now. All right, here we go. Basically, I'm going to hold the chord and then I'm just going to plug. Now, one of the things I know about this song, because I played it for 15 years now, is that you may find if you watch my hands that I'm doing some sort of not necessarily grabbing the whole chord every time, which is the opposite of what I teach, right? I think that you should always grab the chord all the way, because then your ukulele will ring out properly and there won't be any competing non-chordal sounds jumping in there as harmonic vibrations. So I do like you to grab the full chord every single time when you're playing tough uke. However, I've been playing this a long time, and I know what will happen. I know I will fall back into other habits. And so just know I may not be the best example of how I want you to play this. I really do think if you hold those chords, it will help everything sound a whole lot better. Okay, so we'll start from the top. We're going to go real slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Your song is designed to be played 3 times. Probably twice is plenty, right? By the way, the words get sadder and sadder as you go through. It's really used as a lullaby, but if you read deep into the lyrics, it appears that it might be a eulogy, which kind of makes it super weird to be real enthusiastic about the song. But we're enthusiastic about it because it's got a beautiful melody, right? Notice when I got to measure 9, I should have probably mentioned this prior, but I went to a strum pattern. because that B section, the first four measures you play it one way. The second four measures are identical, so I'd play it the same way. When I get to measure 9, 10, 11, and 12, it's a different feeling, a different idea in the song. So I switched to thumb down to play through that section so that I have two completely different feelings from an instrumental standpoint attacking that song. And I think your audiences appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to play this part this way, then partway through the song, we're going to switch and we're going to play it a little bit different through the next section. And then we might go back to, in this case, I did back to the same idea that I was playing with in the beginning. If you play this thing multiple times, you might want to mix that up as well. You might want to try strumming the A section, and plucking the B section. So just be adventurous when you're playing a song like this and you're going to go through it multiple times. You want to not have your audience be bored. At the same time, you don't necessarily have to be so creative that it gets weird, right? And so that every single time you come through a different thing. I will mention one thing, and this is for those of you guys who've been around a little while. You're coming through here. I want you to look at measure 4. You got that measure 4, measure 8. They have these nice big long whole notes sitting there, right? And you're supposed to do this. What the paperwork says is pluck these two and let it ring for 4 beats. Okay, not necessarily musically the if you are on a piano, if you are on a guitar, if you're on something that has a lot of sustain, you might get away with that. Ukulele, it's really a great idea to say I'm holding that chord. I come in all through the night. So just while you're holding the chord, you can pick and pluck any strings on here just to fill up the space. And I usually just drop in some quarter notes in there to make that whole note have some. People aren't waiting like, when's he going to start again? Because here's what you'll do. We often, as ukulele players, we play that note. We're supposed to hold that for 4 beats. Well, the ukulele stops ringing after 2.5 beats, and then you're like, well, we're just waiting for the time to catch up, and you tend to come in early on whole notes. And so one way to avoid that is just put in some little quarter notes in there. Let's give that a try. We'll just play through measure 5 or whatever, so you get an idea of what that feels like. Okay, so from the top, play it like you did, but when we get to measure 4, just add in a couple of quarter notes, and it does not matter what string you hit as long as you're holding the chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see the idea there is when you have a whole note, that's your opportunity to be unique, to be you, to turn this song into your own song. And so half notes, a lot of times you'll notice I hit an extra note in there that's in the chord of whatever the chord happens to be in that measure. I almost always hit an extra note in a half note just for something pretty to add in. Whole notes for sure. I always try to add in 3 extra notes that are in the chord just to fill up the space. Ukulele doesn't have a ton of sustain, and so we really want to, you can make yourself sound really smart and really cool and really nice just by adding in a little bit of that extra, right? Okay, All Through the Night, beautiful song. I know we rushed through it. If you have questions, send me a email and we'll see if we can work through it. A few other people have logged in today. Greg is playing a long neck concert. That's another way to get more space on your fretboard. Hope your mouth feels better today. Oh, I will. At 1:30, 1:25, we're going to talk about my face. Sorry, Steve is late. He's here. Joyce, contrast in the middle. Yeah, right. And hi, everyone. Hope you're feeling better today, Gary. Okay, so everybody's here. All right. Now, let's run through. We've got one more new song, new member song to crank out, and that's good old Happy Birthday. Let's run through that real quick. Then we'll get on to all of the Irish music we're going to deal with today. Happy Birthday is... you should memorize it, okay? Because here's why. There's no chance in your lifetime probably that you're going to get called to do a ukulele concert, solo ukulele concert. Probably a couple of you will, but most of you won't, right? And but you will have friends having birthdays, and there's nothing more fun than go over and just play happy birthday, strum it on the ukulele. Everybody has a blast. It's very memorable. It's a fun thing to do. You got to memorize. You just memorize that darn thing, right? I have one person in my orchestra who gets really angry when I bring up memorizing happy birthday, and I love her to death. But it is weird, right? She just doesn't feel like she should have to memorize it. She should be able to play from sheet music. Well, not happy birthday, right? Memorize this one, right? We're gonna run through it super fast. There's your G chord. D7. This is the hard D7. You got it's the good one too. Bar on 2, middle finger on 3. Okay. Back to G chord. Okay. Notice when you go from this chord to G chord, this just drops one note, one string, sorry, boom, and then these other two will hop on. So don't yank everybody off and start all over again. It's too hard. Okay. You're hanging out here at 3, this, boom. Okay, there's your G chord bend. Then you're going to go back to that D7 and measure 6. Boom. Okay, just roll it up. Boom. Okay. It's okay also, by the way, if you're using a bar and you put your ring finger there, and then you can use your middle finger to smash down the bar. That's another perfectly legitimate thing. You're not doing anything that's going to cause you harm down the road by doing that. And then your C chord, just lift your bar off, and you're on your C chord. Okay, measure 7. You go back to G chord. If you're hanging out at C, index finger on first, the other two pop on. Okay. And then last chord in here is the easy D7. That's this D7. When I go to strum alongs, I usually play this D7 because I'm lazy, right? But this is the good one. This is the easy one. I say when you are working on the reason this D7 isn't ideal is there's no D in it, and the 7 is sitting right on this string, which is the bass, and that's not really where we want it. So this D7 is fine, but it's not near as good as this D7. So if you have to make a choice and you want to be excellent, play this D7. Okay. In this case, I give you this D7 partly to teach you about the two different D7s, but also when we get to the tough, this one makes more sense. Okay. Here we go. Get your G chord on. It's in 3. You three beats per measure, or 3 plucks per measure, or 6 arpeggio notes per measure. 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe Schmo. And we have an international standard for how long that fermata should be. You'll know when to go. Right now, you're losing your mind because I've gone beyond that international standard. And then I don't usually strum those last two notes in measure 6. Happy birthday to you. Okay, one more time together. 4, 3, just keep it steady. 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe Schmo. Happy birthday to you. You should be able to do that without sheet music. You should put that everybody, all 60 of you, sit right there. Every last one of you should have that in your in your head space, so you don't need to go look up sheet music, right? That's because it's going to come up. Okay. Now, melody. Let's play the melody. Here's your 2. It's your middle finger. Your 3s are here. There are no other notes. Oh, yeah, there is. There is a 5. Okay, the 5 is going to show up in measure 6. You're going to have to hit your pinky right up there. Okay, from the top. 1, 2. Okay. Not terribly hard to play the melody. You do got to be aware that 5 is going to sneak up on and bite you in the butt. Okay, you just got to be ready for it. All right. And that's an international standard song. Everybody on the planet knows that song. By the way, it was just recently, they just took it out of copyright. It finally got into public domain, so we can play it as much as we want now. All right, very quickly, those of you who are tough ukulers, we're going to do this real quick. We don't need to go into detail. You'll know how to pull this guy off. Again, as always, grab your G chord to get started. You're going to have to modify that almost right off the bat. Here we go. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, D chord. 2, 2, Beautiful. Okay. This song doesn't really play very nicely with the music theory that's embedded in it. I'm surprised as all heck that became the international birthday song. It's crazy because it's a little harder to play than you want it to be. And anyway, there it is. Lovely tune. And now you have it, and you should put some time into it and become an expert at it. All right. Clear the mechanism out. Let's go on to some Irish music. We're going to do Minstrel Boy first, then we'll do Whiskey in the Jar, then we'll do Molly Malone. We're just basically going to have to play through them, guys, because we got to just cram them in. Make sure you have the big idea on them. Tomorrow we have all 9 songs from the week as our concert, and so hopefully tomorrow you log in, be here early. We're going to go through the whole thing. You're going to find out how you're playing, and so. Uh, um, yeah, it's going to be beautiful. We have 5 really fine Irish songs plus four other of the new member songs, and it's just going to be fun. So let's see how well you can do on that. Be here on time, 1 o'clock. We'll knock them all out. We can fit them all in, and we'll probably play more. We'll probably play a couple of them a couple of times. Let's see. A lot of discussion. I sent out the email today about the membership thing. Again, with the membership thing, I really intend to keep copyrighted, newer, modern songs off of the main website and behind a password. Okay, and that password, I want to charge you a tiny bit of money to get that. Some of you are debating whether this is going to be worth it or not. It's worth it. Okay, any other instrument, any other instrument, any other teacher are going to charge you 5 times what I charge. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm just trying to protect copyright of this music. You guys have seen what I write. It's good stuff. You're not going to find better stuff out there for ukulele. You're not. And so if you want to play instrumentally, if you want to be really good at this instrument, you want to hang out with me, and it's not going to cost you very much. Go figure it out. You do have to have PayPal. I think that there's a way for me to sign you up through checks and all this other stuff. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to do that. I'm looking through it right now to see what it is. But if you don't have a PayPal account, you might want to think about getting one. It turns out it's super handy. But you decide how you want to handle your financial life. Third thing is my teeth. I do apologize for missing yesterday. They could have crown here and a crown here. He says, well, we could do it in 2 appointments. I said, no, we're doing it in 1 appointment because after I come see you, I'm going to have coronavirus, and I just want to look good when I'm dead. And so anyway, it turned out there was a law. You have to fill out 8 pages of stuff to let them even treat you right now. It's crazy what you got to do to go to the dentist. And poor things, they're the ones that are in jeopardy because you're there with no mask on and all this stuff. But anyway, I'm fine. It was a long, brutal day. I did have some Vicodin left from 2008, and so I took a Vicodin after I got home, and I slept all afternoon, and then I took one more for bedtime, and then I overslept my alarm. So anyway, my life's great, and so eventually, a couple weeks now, I got to go back and they'll put on the permanent ones. But for now, I'm looking like I have teeth. So thank you all for your concern. You were very kind. By the way, down at the bottom here, I think it's here for you guys. There's the subscribe button and a thumbs up button. I am told that it's very important that you do those things for our long-term health as a ukulele channel. Obviously, we are super supportive of everybody teaching ukulele out there, even though the pretty young girls that are teaching it incorrectly. We support them too. We want you to be a part of as much YouTube stuff and supporting all these musicians who are trying to make you a better player. And I understand that if I have so many subscribers, something happens good. And so if you guys will subscribe and all that stuff, it's just helpful, I think. I'm told. Let's see. Cincinnati Kid just came in. Jerry came in. All right. And then last thing, what I know is that if you are 60 years old or older, you probably have an intimate relationship with the Beatles. And if I say one thing, anything as a joke against the Beatles, you are pretty sure that I am the worst person ever. So here's a little thing you can do. When you find a baby boomer and you say, I don't know if John was that great of a musician. That's all you have to say. And all of a sudden you are in a whole nother planet. I have found that to be a great source of joy in here. And because I occasionally make a little snippy joke like that, or stuff like, well, I think Paul was overrated, stuff like that. And they'll say, well, you're talking about, when he was in Wings, right? But here's the truth. The Beatles were pretty fine musicians, and they produced a catalog of music that's absolutely stunning. And I've worked up a whole bunch of that stuff for my private students. And then, so we're gonna have Beatles week next week. And for those people who know me, they're right now they're sitting in their chair going, I can't believe it. I can't believe he's going to do that. He's gonna. I don't know. I don't think we can trust him with the Beatles. Here's what you guys have to promise me. Those of you who are baby boomers, you're going to be playing the music on a ukulele. So we are going to have to make certain compromises for playability, for certain, like when they do 17 measures of just instrumental stuff, we're going to cut that down to one or two, right? So there are going to be changes to the Beatles music in order to fit them on the ukulele and have them make sense for you as a soloist. You have to look into your heart and you have to decide if you're going to be able to stand that or not. That's all I'm saying. Okay. If somebody came and brought me Stairway to Heaven and Yanni did it, I don't know if I'd want to listen to that because the Led Zeppelin was my band, right? I owned them. And so I've been very resistant. In fact, I haven't allowed any Led Zeppelin to be done in Rocky Mountain Ukulele Orchestra. I'm not, like, no, you're just screw it up, but you can't do it. And so I get it. There's possible that you just don't want to deal with me and the Beatles and changing it. But here's what you should also know: the songs I've written, the songs that I've got arranged are beautiful. They're absolutely wonderful, and uh, I'm not going to tell you what they are. I'm going to leak them out one at a time through the week to keep you coming back for more. But we'll do five. There are about 350, right? So the one I'm sure the five I do will not be the five you want to do, but it's going to be a nice week, and you should come and be a part of that. Though I really do. I don't love everything they did. I don't really have the same level of emotional commitment to that band that a lot of people have, but I do know it's good music, and you're gonna have some really fine stuff. Plus, it turns out most ukulele players that are involved at this are of a certain age, right? And you'll have something to share with your friends, and they will appreciate it. So, all right. So next week's Beatles week. Promise me that you're going to be able to handle it, and it'll be fun. All right. I think that's the announcements I need to make. Let me see what if anybody's made. Sounds great. Beatles Jam in March, right before New Year. Bob is my number one Beatles fan, and so I like to. How he hasn't stabbed me in the neck, I don't know. Beatles League, no stairway to heaven, no stairway to heaven, and no wagon wheel, right? By the way, guys, those Greg, we are nobody knows Stairway to Heaven anymore. Turns out it's all the young people, they don't know who Led Zeppelin is, so they don't know who George Clooney is either. So just know we're living in a world of pure insanity. All right, let's get on to Minstrel Boy. We didn't have a chance to do it last week. Come on in. Um, hey, Greg. I am broadcasting, and my buddy Greg, right? Drew is with the Mile High Freedom Band. He's going to be running some wires and making a scene behind this. I told him he can come in and do whatever he wants because we want the internet that he's going to be bringing around. Do you have any questions for me?
Just I need the end of that cable. So
I'm not sure where he ran it.
Okay, did you bring it up into here?
I don't know that, okay. Sir. He might. It is the only place I know that he might have brought it is through that wall right there.
Well, I'll look around.
Okay.
And if I need you, I'll let you know, but I think we should be good.
Awesome.
I'm awesome. Behind you.
Okay. Drew is super smart about networking and wires and I don't know what all he knows, but he's also a member of the Mile High Freedom Band, which is a band that has been meeting here in beautiful downtown historic Grant Avenue Theater forever. And he's helping us out with getting some stuff. And I told him it was 100% fine to come interrupt us today. And so he's a musician. He gets it. He knows what we're up to. All right, so we're working on Minstrel Boy, and this is a song most of you don't know, right? You probably don't. It's not one that you've worked on before. The thing to think about this one, very Irish, and it's going to sound bum, 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 bum. It's really a march, right? It's in 4/4, but it could just as easily be written in 2/4 or 2/2 even, frankly. Bum, boom, bum, boom. Min. Stroll ba da bum 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 ba da bum ba da 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 dum dum. So that's what we're working on, is trying to get that real heavy downbeats on that so that it sounds like a march. Okay. The chords and stuff are fairly cooperative. We do have a few bar chords in here that's going to mess a few of you up. Don't let it mess you up. It's just what it is. Okay. And also notice it's set in F, okay, which means your friend B flat is coming along for the ride. And don't hate B flat. Okay. Yeah, you can hate B flat. It's kind of hard. Notice there's one other thing I wanted to point out with you chord wise. We have a D minor up in measure 11. So as always, remember F chord is here and D minor, you're just adding your ring finger right underneath there. Okay. So it's a beautiful chord on ukulele. That's one you want to get comfy with. I think that's all of the chords that we're going to be facing. You got F and C, though. Those you guys should probably are fine with. Okay. Now, as always, I'm going to sing this, and we're only going to go through it once, and we will all agree that this is not how it was intended to be sung. All right. So we're going to give it three beats. Okay. 3 beats, and then we start with the, which is a pickup note. We don't strum pickup notes. We just start on the beat 1 of measure 1. 1, 2, 3. The minstrel boy to the war is gone. In the ranks of death we will find him. His father's sword he has girded on, and his wild harp flung behind him. Land of song, said the warrior bard, da-da-da-dum, dum, 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 dum. One sword at least thy right shall guard, one faithful harp shall be praised thee. Okay. Got an idea of how the melody works, right? And you also have an opportunity to practice those chords. As always, there's an MP3 on the website, and it's sitting up over here on the little widget duty bopper thing. It is over here on the top right hand side of the website. And what you'll do there, just hit play and then strum the chords while you're reading through the music. That gives you a chance to deal with your B flat. Your B flat may sound like that. Just accept that that's what it is. Okay. By the way, on YouTube, there's a couple of versions of this. There's one where a guy in an old military uniform is playing this on a drum, and he's got this incredible singing voice, and it gives you a chance to hear somebody who really can sing and turn this into something that's actually it'll make you be like, yeah, I want to do that song. That's the kind of singer this guy is. And so, if I can remember, I'll send that out as a link. Yeah, so let's go now to the melody. Okay, we're all over the place. We're going to go up to the 8th fret, and as always, you're going to be thinking about what's the smart way to deal with 8th fret. Probably 5th position, right? Index, middle, ring, boom, pinky ends up on 8. That's probably what I would be thinking about. Let's give the melody a try, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 3, 1, oh, 3, 1, oh, 3, 8, 7, 8, 5, 3, oh, 1, 3, oh, 3, 1, oh, 1, 3, 1, oh, 3, 1, oh, 3, 8, 7, 8, 5, 3, oh, 1, 3, oh, 3, 1, 8, 7, 5, 7, 8, 7, 5, 3, 4, 5, oh, oh, 1, 5, 7, 8, oh, 1, 3, 1, oh, 3, 1, oh, 3, 8, 7, 8, 5, 3, oh, 1, 3, oh, 3, 1. Okay, play through it twice. You repeat that in measure 16. You go back to the top, come back through the second time, skip measure 16, play 17, and then you've got that famous F chord. We've been dealing with it for weeks now. Bar chord on 5, pinky on 8. That's also an F chord, and that's how you're going to end the song. Okay, now That's your melody. Let's dive into Tough You Can, guys. I know I'm racing you through because we got two more songs to get to, and it's already 1:44. All right, let's start. Do what you can. Okay, from the top. One, two, three. Whoops. Sorry, that's that D minor. I should have mentioned that. Bar on 5, ring finger up here on 7. Let's play it from there. Ready and play. And then you would, if you were on the second ending, you'd put that F chord on the end. Okay. Normally, guys, we'd spend a little bit more time on it, but you got the big idea. Send me an email if I did something that's weird and you don't get it. Otherwise, tomorrow I will be in much better shape for getting through all this stuff. I apologize. Not a very clean presentation, but you got the big idea. Like I say, that D minor there at measure 11 shows up as a bit of surprise even to me. I'm like, I knew it was coming. I'm like, what the heck, right? So I messed it up. So that's your D minor there on 5. And the B flat. Sometimes the B flat is here on 1, and sometimes it's that B flat that we've learned about on 5 with the F shape in front of it. That B flat is going to come up a lot through that song. And the other thing that comes up is that I've got some 8s in there on the second string only because you can get your pinky to them very conveniently when you're holding that B flat shape. Your pinky can go right on that 8, okay? And that's easier to hit than jumping down here to grab that 3, okay? So the 3 and the 8 are the same note. Okay, and so sometimes when you're working on a melody that's moved up the fretboard, easier to grab this 8 than to jump back and grab the 3. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Again, I know we didn't spend anywhere near enough time on that song, but you got the big idea of kind of how it goes, and then you'll work on it over tonight, because tonight you got to get ready for concert tomorrow, right? And so that's what we're working on. All right, let's go on to what's the next song we got in here. We're going to go on to Whiskey in the Jar. Okay. Now, guys, Whiskey in the Jar, you do it at every single strum along. I don't know what it is about this song and why people like it so much. I have spent days and days and days trying to figure out the lyrics, and it turns out this is a dumb song. It makes no sense whatsoever, but we still like to do it at strum alongs because at the end of it, you get to say Whiskey in the Jar, right? And the other reason we do it is Metallica did it, and Metallica rocks. Yeah, did, right? So Metallica's lyrics, they modified them a lot, obviously. I think here's what I want you to do for your weekend. Here's what I want you to do for your weekend. Those of you who are thinking, well, Saturday and Sunday, I just have to be sad and lonely. Rewrite Whiskey in a Jar, where it's about whiskey and women, and that's just what the song is kind of about. But it's mostly about getting in a fight with Captain Farrell, whoever that was. I've started work on my version. Okay, you only need to play it twice or maybe 3 times with play it twice through and then play the Whiskey in the Jar part twice or something. But you got dumb did a dumma-doo dumma-daws in here. That's what? Come on, Ireland, get it together. And then whack for me, daddy, oh. None of that makes any sense. Write a song, change the words, make it make sense. That's your goal for the weekend. That'll give you something to do. Okay, everything, the melody can be the same, chords can be the same. Just fix the words so that it should be about women and whiskey, right? That's what it should be about, and it's not. So, all right, there's my complaint about Whiskey in the Jar. We're not going to run through the chords because the chords are very, very basic. You got your D chord, Okay. A lot of times at the ukulele strum-alongs, they're going to do it in C, right? So that you have simpler chords. You guys get it in D because that's how most Irish music is written, is in D. So you get it in the correct key. Okay. But that means that instead of A minor, you got to deal with B minor. It's a bar on two, ring finger up here. Okay. Okay. Then you've got a G chord. And is that it? There's one more chord in here. A7. Okay. Measure 9, you get your A7. Okay, that's your chords. Four chord song. And like I say, when you go to this ukulele strum along, it's usually in C because it's easier on ukulele. Okay, but you guys don't want easy. You're here for the good stuff. Okay. Um, so those are your chords. You don't need me singing it. It's not good. Let's play through the melody. Make sure that we know basically how the melody goes. 1, 2, 3. Great melody. It really moves all around. Love that. Love the melody on that. And honestly, if you work on this a little bit over tonight, this will be the one that's stuck in your head, and you will not be able to get it out. You'll be humming this tune in bed, even though you don't even know the words. You don't even care what the words are. Bum bum ba ba. Right? It's really fun. All right, run through the tough uke really quickly from the top. Okay, and with this song, if you're singing it, man, you're just pounding on your ukulele, right? When you're, as always, when you're doing a solo version of this, you might bring a little sensitivity to it, rethink some of the ideas. But I tried to get it where every two beats, you give it a pretty serious downbeat. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. And then you start the whole thing over. You're supposed to sing through it. I think what, 6 times total. Um, Next tomorrow when we do concert, we'll do it we'll do it twice through, right? So that way we get practice doing the repeat. And your job again, composers, music theorists, writers, people of creative bent, artists. You're going to go through and you're going to rewrite these lyrics. Keep the melody. Just go through and make it about whiskey and women. That should be it. That should be the list of things in that song. All right. And of course, with whiskey, they're always pretty women, right? So there you go. All right, whiskey in the jar. That's a fun one too. It's probably more fun as a strum along, just to pound it and sing and get the words close. All right, and then finally, our last one, Molly Malone. When I went to get this song put together, I went to Wikipedia, which I often do, to just to make sure that I have big overview of how it works. And they're sitting on Molly Malone's page as somebody's posted with her wearing a COVID mask. So I've been using that image all over your stuff this week. So she's being careful. Are you? All right. All right. Let's run through this one real quick, and then we'll call it a day. Whiskey and men. Carol correctly pointed out they got to be pretty men, though, right? So let's see. I'm here from Lynn made it in from Greg is here. Mike showed up. Critters in from Utah. Sandy made it. Was planting the fruit tree. Oh, for planting fruit trees. Okay. As soon as those fruit trees produce harvest, Sandy, you owe me whatever is on there. Okay. All right. All right, so let's do Molly Malone. Molly Malone is apparently, according to Wikipedia, um, Dublin's anthem, right? Like if you're in Dublin, you know this song. And so I don't know if that's true. I was in Dublin for a couple of days one time, and it's absolutely the cutest little town in the whole world. And so that's that. If you're going to sing it, F chord, okay, index finger on one, middle finger here, there's F. D minor, remember D minor, you just add your ring finger underneath there, and then it's beautiful. Okay, G minor, I want you guys to know this, and it's amazing how often when I'm working with ukulele players have been around a while, that G minor doesn't come instantly to their mind. It's perfect. Drop it down, index, middle, and then the ring goes out here. This is a beautiful chord on ukulele. It's just set up perfectly, right? It's just lovely. C7, you can go all of you guys are comfy with C7. That's that one. And if I remember right, that's what we're going to be dealing with. That's what we're dealing with. Okay, so just again, a four-chord song. A lot of these Irish traditional tunes are four-chord songs. They've been around forever. People maybe at one point might have been fancier than they are now, but people have sort of, when you're singing them in the bar with 27 guys, everyone's got a different instrument. They just showed up there that evening. You tend to go with songs that have four chords because it's just a little bit easier on everybody to learn how to sing it and have fun. And so that's a lot of times these traditional songs will have a more limited chord palette because of the way they're traditionally sung. Molly Malone here is going to go much slower than the other two songs. So with Minstrel Boy, you want this driving two beat feeling to it. With Whiskey in the Jar, if Metallica's playing it, you can pretty much be guaranteed you want to play that sucker as fast as you can, right? And Molly Malone is not meant that way. Molly Malone's supposed to make you want just die for Ireland, right? Deep inside your soul, really take your time with it. And Oh, Peter, Paul, and Mary have a version. So there you go. Right? And it will be very clear what it's about. All right. So Peter, Paul, and Mary has got that. Um, um, thanks, Lori. I didn't know they had a version of it. Good. Everybody probably has a version of it. All right. So you got the chords. We're not going to run through the melody because it's ones and threes, right? It's ones and threes and zeros. So the melody, frankly, probably this song is going to end up in my intro program because I got a couple of pieces of sheet music in the intro program that are still under copyright. I'm going to pull those out. This is one of those songs that may end up in that. Beautiful melody, nice and slow. Let's take our time through. We're going to play the tough acts, and then you guys can be out of here. Okay? 1, 2. O, F. Let's play it one more time. That's a beautiful song. Okay, so guys, I know we rushed through today, and I feel well. I don't know if I feel that badly about it. Hey, we're cramming a lot of music into kind of a short week. I'm still trying to learn how and get all my timing together correctly. We're going to continue to get that until we're just knocking it dead every week. Um, Obviously, questions, send me an email. I'm way backed up on emails all of a sudden again, and so that's because I took yesterday off. So I will be getting to emails hopefully this afternoon. I hope you guys had a good day today. I hope you're having a good day every day. And I hope that what we're doing here is making sense to you, keeping you out of trouble, and giving you something to do every day. This is where it's happening. This instrument. Look at over the last few weeks all of the crazy different types of music we've been able to play, and we end up right now with Molly Malone. Good stuff. So we'll let you go. If those of you who are working on your claw, you can take Molly Malone and add in a whole bunch of notes between those, right? When you're playing it that slow, you can be adding in some extra doodly doos, and it's going to sound really beautiful. So, all right, guys, we'll wish everybody a wonderful day. Thank you for being here, and if you want to learn how to play guitar, denverguitarorchestra.com. All right, I'm headed over there next. Let's see who's headed out of here. Beatles don't have a version. The Beatles don't have a version of Molly Malone, so throw the song out. That's a good point, Cindy. Uh, Thanks, Louise. I like the arrangement too. Have a great day, Renee. Good to see you. That Molly melody is nice, isn't it? Those Irish people know what they're up to. Patty, have a great day. Bruce, good to see you. Have a good day. Yeah, hopefully you found something worth playing in 5 songs. Thanks, Fran. Appreciate it. Lindy, have a wonderful day. Violet, go straighten Chicago out, will you? Uh, See you tomorrow, Barbara. Leslie, have a great evening. Brandon, keep at it, buddy. Lindy, good to see you. Manette, thanks for being here. Greg, what are you talking? No stairway to heaven. What the heck? Pele, come on over to the Denver Guitar Orchestra one here. I'll start in a minute or two. Prost, Carol. Or is it Skull? I think it's Skull. That's the good one. Thank you. See you tomorrow, Lynn. Chris, have a wonderful day. Jerry, Pauline, Gail, Lanny, capital thanks, you bet. Jacqueline, Elizabeth. Fun music, right? Good point. All right, guys. I'm going to hit the stream. I'm going to run over and teach a guitar lesson. You guys have a great day. Thanks for being here.